Good evening everyone, it's Pure Price Action and the evening update on 26th of August and the outlook for tomorrow 27th of August. So as usual, kicking off with S&P. It's an easy update today. I don't want to touch this. So going over what happened today. Well, we had a fairly muted overnight session. As I mentioned on my Twitter feed this morning, I was looking for a push higher overnight. Didn't happen. Instead, price today, this morning, essentially just overnight stayed in a very tight range and then popped higher. As soon as that range broke, you can see some wicks attempted to break higher. As soon as we had a candle body over that 34.50 level, it just pushed on, never looked back. Now the consequence, I think, the interesting thing here is the structure of the way this has moved. Again, this is a 30-minute chart and this is a cash price, just as a reminder. What I mean by structure, so this area here, when it broke 34.50 and it shot up to, and you can see it's still moving up actually after hours, and it shot up to 34.68. That is basically hot air. There's not much there. It shot up. It's the same thing on Nasdaq, and I'll turn to that in a second. And while it remains above this level here, then I think it's going to carry. There's a chance it'll carry on pushing higher. I'm not a buyer up here, and I'm not a seller either. I'm a sort of on the wait and see side. I want to see a break of this 34.65, 34.66, 65 level. If that breaks, I think it'll wind down very quickly to 34.50 and possibly back down to this level here of 34.30. Now, it's a question of when, not if, and that's a big question. We've got Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow and some other bits of news that's going to kick this thing around. But until this 34.50s level, 34.65 level breaks, I wouldn't want to short this. It's very tempting to short, but as I said yesterday, go with the flow. It's not as tempting as it is. Just I would stay away from the short side on this until there is a sign of weakness, because every time you try to short this, it will just carry on going up. Better to wait for this confirmation. I think this would be a very quick flush down, and that might be a safe trade to take if it goes below 34.65. That's a quick 15 points to the downside that can be played, and that's what I would prefer to do rather than try to catch a top. It's just as bad as catching a falling knife at this point. So Nasdaq is similar, had a similar case in that this pump here, this is what I want to see breaking, and that's from 11.750 up until 11.880. So that's going to be the line I look at. If you're on the 30-minute candle, if you look at this area here with these wicks, we want to see those taken out for a retest of this part down here in the 11.750. So I'd rather have this 130, 140 point drop after I get confirmation that this is going to get taken out or has been taken out. And by that I mean you'd look for, the price to come down, sell on a retest of that, and look for continuation downwards. Nice ABC pattern that I like so much. But again, for that to happen, price needs to come down first. And why don't we just start by letting it stop going up and then wait for it to turn and come down and play the short side. I think the issue I have and why I don't want to be buying up here is I think especially on S&P, this is on very low volume. It's gone up. Nasdaq's not quite the same. Let me just turn back to S&P for a second. So this pump up is not on the highest volume. So we had the volume spike here, the volume spike up there, and air in the middle. And the continued move up is on low vol. So low volume, I mean, not volatility. Nasdaq's a bit different. It had volume support up here. And that actually, funny enough, means it can carry on going a bit higher, I think, into tomorrow. Again, I'm not a buyer up here. I'm waiting to see, and we've got the whole Jerome Powell, Jackson Hole stuff going on tomorrow, and I don't want to be messing around with this stuff going into that. I'd rather wait to see what happens. So it might actually be a day of doing nothing tomorrow. Go fishing or play golf or whatever, but I think it's safer to let this stuff fizzle out first. The Dow was lagging, and it still did lag today. It still hasn't reached that sort of area up here that I was looking for yesterday. I played the long side. If you remember, I got in at 12,180 and I was looking for sort of a move back to this area. It's sort of come partway there. It hasn't really gotten all the way there. But essentially Dow is the weaker of the bunch. I think if there's any chance of anyone breaking down, it'll probably be this. If Nasdaq breaks down, oddly enough, it seems to have supported Dow recently, and that money comes out of Nasdaq stocks into Dow, and Dow seems to take some of that rotation away from Nasdaq. But again, I think the key support area is still in a range. Largely, that's the range. That's the same range as I mentioned yesterday. But I think this is now the support block within that range. Above here, you'd want to see a retest of the 28,500 level. So this is above 28,250. You'd want to see it pushing higher towards 28,500. And below that, I think it'll break down probably harder than the others if it breaks down below this area. Coming over to Europe on DAX. So this morning I had a buy order, a sell order, beg your pardon, at in the 70s, 12,170, that's 13,170, get my act together. Price teased that area. It didn't quite hit my target. I think the high there was like 165, 166, and it did drop around 70 points or so, 70, 80 points there. Came back, went straight through. Now I'm scaling in on a short here at yesterday's high. Well, I did scale in. And I'm going to hold that, and I'm looking for a turn. It may not happen. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm in and holding. Don't normally hold overnight, but I'm going to let this position run and see how it works out. My stop will be quite a wide stop on this swing trade. It's going to be up 13,320 and above up here. And so this is a swing position. It's not a day trade. It's one I've just taken. And the thing to look out for, I guess, on DAX is it's a breakthrough this area here. I think what I'd like to see is at least a retest of 13,150, this time from the top side. So if you look at yesterday's update, I was looking for 13,150. We were down here, we were here actually, and I was looking for a push up to 13,150. I want to see the same thing now from the top side, and I want to see if this holds. If it holds, I'll probably cut all shorts and reassess. If it goes through, well, that'll be great, and I'll look to add on any retest and look for a move back down to the bottom here in the 13k area, that was my intention today. So as of now, I'm looking for 13,150 price action around this area here. I do think it'll get tested from the upside in the next day or two, and how it reacts there, we'll see, and that'll determine if we carry on or just cut and reverse long. So 13,150 is a key area to watch there. Moving over to FTSE, well, the chart says it all. This has gone nowhere. This is like Dow in that it's just not doing anything. You almost want to poke it with a stick or put a mirror under its nose and see if it's still breathing. It's not done much today. I think I had a sell order up here. That was fanciful. It didn't come anywhere close to 6,100 plus. And I think it's basically forming a consolidation pattern here now. So it's quite rangy, and we'll see where it breaks on this range. I think if it comes above, then I'd look for 6,100. This was my goal today. I was looking to sell that area if it rallied into that, but it didn't. It just big fat did nothing. So if it breaks above these areas here, it would really, I think it may rely on the other indices breaking up as well. That's sort of 60 area. It might move back up to 6120, and then I may look to sell there. But I'm not really interested in this at this point. It's not giving me any sort of clear edge on either side from what I can see here. And that's it for today. So thank you as always for checking in, and if you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps me out because I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Apparently I can monetize this channel if it gets to that number. So well, hey, there's some benefit there. Anyway, hope it was useful, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Good night.